In times like these, where Disney has been running Marvel into the ground, it's good to reminisce on the good old days when Marvel was really an exciting franchise. And before 2 weeks ago, the earliest MCU movie that I'd seen was Captain America Civil War, so I guess that shows you how uncultured I was. So I thought it would only be natural to go back and watch the first phase of Marvel. And it was amazing. Honestly, now I understand why so many people enjoyed Marvel so much. So let's go over all the movies, shall we? The first film that I watched in Phase 1 was Iron Man. And it was a banger. It honestly blew me away with how much I enjoyed it. The film starting with Tony Stark getting abducted and making his first suit in a cave at the hands of terrorists it's just so cool. And his escape in that suit is even cooler. And the story is just so well crafted, and you're never bored during the film. Unlike a certain movie. Anyway, moving on from that, the story is just so well thought through, the tone of the film is really good, and the film really makes me miss actual Marvel storytelling. After watching Iron Man, it really goes to show how lacking the new Marvel films are. Next on the list we have Iron Man 2, which is also a banger movie despite what anyone tells you. I have heard people say that they don't like it, but I do like it. The film perfectly balances all of its plot points, and you really get that the film is necessary for the overarching plot of the MCU. By this I mean all of the plot points are well put together. The introduction of Black Widow, the evil Russian guy Ivan's story, the other evil rich guy, Tony's arc reactor problem, and Tony's relationship with Pepper, and the introduction of Nick Fury are all so well put together into this one film. The film is really good, the plot keeps you entertained, and it's not trying to push any form of agenda onto you like some of the newer Marvel films do. The film is just good, clean fun, and it really nicely adds to the first phase of the MCU. Next we have Thor. Now I have heard some bad things about Thor, but I watched the film with some optimism. After all, I had heard bad things about Iron Man 2, but I still really enjoyed that film. And honestly, I wasn't disappointed. Thor wasn't the best film in Phase 1 of Marvel, but it was still very enjoyable, and I would absolutely watch it again. People often hate on this movie as they're comparing it to the rest of the films from the first phase, but when I'm told it's bad, I compare it to the films like those of the fourth phase, because they are bad. So, in comparison, Thor is just a banger film, and so naturally I really enjoyed it. The film wasn't going to be as good as Iron Man, because that's just way more relatable. It's set in reality, and, Thor isn't. I hate to break it to you, but I can't really relate with Thunder God and the squabbles of Odin's family. Yeah, so obviously it's not going to be as good as Iron Man, but nonetheless, still an amazing film. The next film on the list is Captain America: The First Avenger, and this one was absolutely phenomenal. This has to be the best film in Marvel Phase 1, even better than the Avengers movie, in my opinion, at least. Captain America has got the advantage of the film being set in World War II. The film portrays Captain America's character extremely well. You really get the kind of guy he is through the film, and it's gotta be one of my favourite Marvel movies of all time. And Red Skull being a Nazi, but going against Hitler with the scene where the Nazi guy realizes Berlin is on the map and he's gonna blow up even Berlin. It was cool. It was just cool. Honestly, Captain America was a banger. The costumes were great, the acting was great, the visuals were great, story was great. Just everything about it was great. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about the movie. It was one of the best pieces of cinema that I have seen in general. And last but not least, we have the Avengers movie. I know I skipped Hulk because it's not on Disney Plus, and I've also been told that it's not terribly important and that it got shoehorned into the MCU, so I don't know. If you don't like that I did that, I don't really care. But anyway, yeah, the Avengers movie was great. I think you've kind of just expected me to say that by this point, but it was great. The first collaboration between the heroes was amazing. All the characters' personalities clashing, like Tony Stark with his narcissism and Captain America with his complete opposite of narcissism. The unification of all the characters joining together to stop Loki, it was awesome, bro. And the film really makes you think about all the previous movies that you watched up to this point and how the characters fit together. The film was just absolutely great, and watching all of the heroes put aside their differences to fight Loki, it was just a great film. Honestly, I suggest that you don't just take my word for it, but actually go back and rewatch the old movies, because if you compare them to the new movies, you're gonna realize how much better the old films really are, and how bad the new ones are. Like, yeah, just amazing. But that's all for this video, so like and sub, and I'll see you later.